Before saying goodbye, so it was very clear that the red line between all the presentations was the API. So Josh, I think that was the best decision you've ever made as a company to open up the platform. So there's a lot of traction, and also for the new Cloud Apps environment, a lot of users will be using it. So I truly hope that you had this aha-Erlebnis, as Germans said, the aha moment, the eureka effect, that put on some lights in the back of your head and gave you some inspiration and make you curious to check out other projects, talk to other people, and I truly hope that we can meet each other next year face to face. But that's still so far away, and we'll see how we'll get there. But just to give you some ideas, if you want to present next year, why not present on linked data in libraries? It's been a hype for a couple of years. There's even a work group which is specialized on doing linked data with IGeLU products. And maybe you've done, or you're doing a project that is of interest to other people. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. It might just be interesting to see how you deal with linked data within your organization, and doesn't even have to do with any IGeLU product if you're scared of that. So we welcome almost all presentations. So because as libraries, we've been doing linked data for ages. Since if you look at your authority records, that's basically what linked data is nowadays. The only difference was that, or the only difference is that authority records up until now were bound to your institution. IGeLU is changing that, luckily, and we're slowly opening up our silos to the world. So this here you have a snippet of an authority record on optical discs, and just to show you, you can make bubbles out of it. So you have your heading where you could do your browse, or where all the browse data came from. And then you have your relationships, the see from and see also relations to other terms. And if you write this in code, if you would put this in a database, you would have a subject heading table where you would put your ID in there, the type of relationship, parent ID if there is something, and a value, and some other fields, and you would point to each other. So basically, this is already linked data, but linked data is built up of triples, and these triples, as I look at them, are atoms that build molecules, that build cells, until you get an organism. And at the moment you have an organism, everything starts to become extremely complex, but triples aren't that complex, and they're great, actually, and they've existed a long time. But yeah, you know how information sciences go. Every now and then we rebrand things. Instead of data, we call big data, and so on and so on. Triples exist out of three elements, being a subject, a predicate, and an object. And if you would link it to a table that we saw before, it would be actually not that difficult. Here you have your ID, which is this column, and then you have another ID, which is your header, These are two IDs, one being your subject, and the second one, your header, being your predicate, and the third one being your value. And if you would mold this into triples, you would end up into something looking like this here. So as to conclude, linked data isn't that difficult. It all starts very easy, very simple, but then when you start to work with it, it will become more difficult.
Can I put in a shameless plug for
Sure.
a cloud app called Alma Refine, which allows you to use linked data authorities or linked data vocabularies and to do a kind of F3 preferred term correction and then pull in a URI to update your bib record. So if anyone's interested, you take a look for the Alma Refine cloud app.
And it's a cool app. I think you make use of the Open Refine engine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Standard.
So as a conclusion, I think that there are a lot of possibilities, a lot of great ideas that are floating out there, but never surface. So if you have anything, doesn't matter how big or how small it is, it's important for the community. And I'm really, or we as a community are actually really encouraging you to share because if you share your IDs, these IDs might be picked up by bigger players like Xlibris, and it would all make the product better, and we will all benefit from them. So once again, I'd like to share all presenters. I want to thank all presenters for your time. Presentations will be, the videos will be online as soon as possible. And I hope to meet you next year at a venue, and if not, online or somewhere else. So thank you.
Thank you, Mehmet.
Thank you. And see you next year.
All right, thanks everyone for joining.